Okay, we are on session E, page 23, Advanced Features. We're clicking on the red butterfly clip, so be sure that you have your playhead down there and click on the red butterfly clip. Remember, this is a nested sequence that we put on video 3, and we're going to look up here in our effect controls in the top left, and we're going to look at the motion category. So there's different categories in here: motion and opacity. Opacity is what makes things fade in and out. So you see here, if we drag, we see that it fades out between those two diamonds. But we're going to deal under here where it says motion, and then we can see position and scale. You can add keyframes for position. That's how you can make something move across. Now, before we do this, it's probably going to be a good idea to lock these other video lines. So I am going to go ahead and hit the padlock next to V1 and V2 so that we don't accidentally grab a hold of those other lines. And when you're keyframing, I greatly encourage you to lock all the other video lines. It's just a good safety feature there for you. Okay, now in order to animate a clip, we need to be at the beginning of the clip unless you don't want to animate till later on. But you have to think, you're animating from point A to point B, or point A to B to C. And so, like, even if there's a bunch of stuff happening from here to here, unless I have a keyframe here and here, whatever I change over here in this point, it's going to change it everywhere in front of it, right? So you have to think about, where do I want things to be? And anywhere where things are going to change or stay the same from point to point, I need to have keyframes. Okay, so we're going to turn on animation. So there's a little stopwatch to the left. See where it says toggle animation? That toggle animation stopwatch is necessary in order to tell it, all right, I'm animating it. I'm not just moving it like I've done before. I'm animating it. I'm going to add keyframes. So I'm going to press the stopwatch button for motion because we're going to move it. Now, if I was going to make it bigger or smaller, I would also do animation for scale. Or if I was going to rotate it, I would also do animation for rotation. So if you're going to do all three of those, you would need to hit all three of those stopwatches. I don't intend to do that for this one, so I'm going to leave it. Okay? All right, so position is all I'm dealing with. I've locked the other lines. Okay? And then in the program monitor, I'm going to click on my butterfly. And I shouldn't be able to click on anything else, so I'm going to double click. Now, it treats it as one big screen, so it might not look like you're clicked on your butterfly. But you should be, okay? If you pick it up and move it, that should be the only thing that can move, see? Okay, but it considers it all being in a big rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to just move it off the top of the screen up here, kind of where it was, but off the top of the screen. And it's okay that you can't see it, because if we click off of it, we can click back over here on motion and see it puts the box back on it. Okay, so we can still grab a hold of it even though we can't see it. So it starts at the beginning of this. We want it to be completely off. So we want to scrub over about a second, so over to about 25. And you can do it in here and just watch on your program panel here, program monitor. So we're at 25 seconds, and then at this point, I want to scoot it down. So you're going to grab a hold of it and scoot it down so it's like over his head. Now see, there's a blue line over here that indicates motion is happening on here. Okay, now I'm going to repeat this process one more time. I want to get to about 29 seconds. I mean, technically this doesn't have to be exactly, but at 29 seconds, I want it to be off the screen again. So you can't really see it very well, but we're just going to drag it. And if you kind of drag it off to the way, you'll see there's like a curve happening here. Okay, so I'm kind of dragging it off there. That's good enough. Okay, so we have three diamonds. One that's off the screen, one that's on the screen. See how Premiere fills in the blanks? And then one that's slower goes off in the corner. Okay, and that's basically it. It's really cool. You can even pick these up and move them around. So when you got it done, if you changed your mind and you were like, you know, I don't want it to hit that middle so fast, you just pick it up and scoot it. And then now it's going to do that part slower to get there before it does the other part. So you can always pick these up and move around. Sometimes I'll do stuff and it's like too fast or too slow, and I just grab like all of them. If I have like 5 in a row, I just drag a box around all of them and then pick like both of them up at the same time to move them. So you have lots of options there. Now I will say, if you want to change a keyframe from the program monitor, you really do want to hit these buttons to jump to the keyframes. This diamond will be blue when you're clicked on a keyframe. If you try to click on it and then change it, make sure it's blue first off, but it's real easy to mess that up. So, you know, I try to like click right on there and then see, like, I think I'm clicked on it, but I'm not. That's not blue. And if that's not blue, then I'm not really on that keyframe, and you have to like get right on it. So it's really kind of hard to do. Okay. It's easier to use the arrow. See, that jumped right on it and it's blue. So just be very careful. Use the buttons. Okay. Let's go ahead and just back up here. I'm going to hit my spacebar and play.
And simply remember to breathe.
Okay. Actually, I don't like how far down he comes. He's like really on top of my guy here. Don't really like the positioning of that. So again, I'm going to grab this to this keyframe and then maybe scoot him up a bit because I don't like him coming down so far. There we go. That's better. Then he's not like attacking my guy there. Okay. And that is page 23.